Guys, you saw right. I've got the M18 Fuel, the second generation 30 to 34 degree framing nail gun. We're going to look at it against the DeWalt. The DeWalt framing nail gun has been a great nail gun for me. I've used it a lot. I'm not crazy about the ramp up on the DeWalt nail guns. And as you know, the first generation Milwaukee nail guns wasn't the best in the world. But the second generation is much improved. I also want to say that I had a Milwaukee battery to go bad on me, a 9 amp hour. It's been at the place, my local place that does all my, that I buy my Milwaukee stuff from. They do my sending back warranty. I've got a 9 amp hour that's been sitting there now some 2.5 months, going on 3 months, that Milwaukee has not even picked it up to do the warranty on it. So that's kind of a thumbs down. You know, it takes a good 3 or 4 months to get a battery turned around with DeWalt, and I didn't really dream of Milwaukee being like this, but I was just at the service center and it's still sitting there. They've done nothing about it. He's waiting on them to send a pickup for it. And it's not only my battery, there's some other customers' batteries are there too. We've got to go do some flooring today. I've got a floor that's gotten rotten. I'm gonna have to cut some of it out, put some new braces in, put some decking up on top of it, redo it. So I thought today'd be a good day to, let's just try out the Milwaukee M18 framing nail gun, their new generation 2. I know it's been out a while. I'm sure you've seen lots of reviews on it, but we're actually going to be using it on the job today. We'll be shooting some 3-inch pass load nails, so we'll see how it does. You can see I got a hole right there. Jeff stepped through it the other day. There's a hole right here I stepped through. This floor has just gotten really spongy and weak. This house did have like gas heat and electric heat, and I've had these units put in, had 3 of them put in around the house. But I've noticed where that I had those gas wall heaters, and then that laminate flooring with that foam underneath the laminate flooring, it would sweat these floors. It did that in another house and rotted the, you know, it really weakened the floors up. Didn't rot them all the way out, but it weakened them up. And I think that's what it's done in this house here, is some places where those laminate floors were, and that foam sweated that barrier between the wood and kind of rotted them up. So that's what I've got to fix. So let's get started. We're going to use the DeWalt 60 volt circular saw with the 60 volt flex volt vacuum. Keep the dust down in here while I'm going to make a cut up this joist right up through here. I've got the depth on the saw set to just barely going through the floor. Just kind of starting here. You can see I'm putting some plates in across there. Back, a lot of these houses that I buy, back when they were built, people are scrimping on material. Let me step out in the light a little bit. And they just don't put cross members in back then. And of course, we're going to put this Herbert Blue Point down, which is a good steel flooring board. And I'll put cross members all the way across here. All this floor is going to come out in time. I'm just doing a section at a time. I'm going to tell you, I'm nailing with this gun. And guys, this is the real deal right here. Using pass load, 3-inch nails. Now this that I have found Let's see if I can slide it back and hold the camera. One-handed stuff ain't too easy. I'll put my knee on it like so. But this don't lock back. Like the DeWalt one, you pull it back and it locks. But this one does not. And you can see what my problem is it doesn't have a very big, I didn't get the extended magazine, so it's still got that many nails right there in it, and you can't load any more because this thing won't come back and catch on it. But let me fire one. Now this right here is old Bodoc post, and I want you to watch this. Now it's ready for nails, I think. That would be the only thing that'd be a little aggravating, is it don't hold many nails. Well, now there we go. All right, now it locked on it. Buried that sucker. You can shoot from an angle on them. We'll pull the DeWalt out and do it, but that DeWalt a lot of times struggles on this. You can see what we're doing. I'm not doing beautiful, I'm doing functional. I got to put another one right there. We're just done for today. But you can see what we've done. I put in some 6x6s there just to kind of give it some support. You know, it gets so much use right there coming in that front door. So it's looking better. We'll put the Herbert blue on it tomorrow. Well guys, it's next morning. We're back on the job. I just wanted to also show you, like, this is some tongue and groove stuff I had left over, like some boards from doing a porch. This is some decking boards from a porch. 6x6 posts left over, 4x4s. Like, you know, this is just a bunch of scrap wood I had left over. And that's kind of what I'm doing this with. I'm not looking for pretty, I'm looking for function. And I said earlier in this video, like, a lot of these old houses, they would just do these big spans and they wouldn't put any cross members in like that. And so these boards right here, like, those are decking boards. And so I'm just putting them on each side of the floor joists, just to strengthen them up, get some new wood on them. And here's the two nail guns. This is, you know, the DeWalt 30-degree framing nailer, and then the new Milwaukee Gen 2. Now I have, like, I think I've got all of the nail guns in the DeWalt series. I've got the framing, I got the 15 gauge, the 16 gauge, the brad nailer, the staple gun. I've got about all of them, and they're good guns. The 15 gauge, the 16 gauge, the brad nailer, and the stapler work better than this DeWalt framing nailer. I've never been a big fan of this DeWalt framing nailer. Now, in saying that, I'm not knocking DeWalt, because I've got a Milwaukee 16 gauge finish nailer, and that thing's a piece of crap. Worthless. And that's why I didn't buy any more Milwaukee guns. I mean, I just threw my money away on that thing. I very seldom ever pull it out. It just won't hardly bury nails. It's pitiful. But this new Gen 2s that Milwaukee has come out with and is coming out with, these are the deal, man. They are good. And I'm loving this framing nailer. I used it all day yesterday, had it on for about 4 hours. I've got the Generation 2 brad nailer. That thing is awesome. I pick it up before I pick the DeWalt up. I get tired of that ramping up and waiting on that thing. These Milwaukees is just boom, hit that trigger and the thing fires. So, kind of in saying that, just a few things. You've got like your belt loop hook here on this. This one doesn't really have that. It has your rafter hook like this. This one has a rafter hook also here. Works really good. See if it goes any further. Don't seem to. Seems like that's where it opens right there. The DeWalt, of course, this is all plastic, and I've kind of complained about that. It does lock back. It's kind of hard to pull back, but it does lock, and then you push it down for it to come forward. I've not noticed this one locking. It just comes back. The magazine on this one is right at 12 inches, just a shade under it, right in there, 12 inches. This one is about 11 and a half, and there's about what it is. So it is a little shorter. I know you can get the extension that goes on there, but I don't really want that extension because I don't want that thing out. Most all of my work is in a close area, so it's no big deal for me just have nails, you know, laying right there on that. Just a solid gun. Both, you know, both of them are. The thing that I've noticed so much in this one right here is trouble sinking nails, and especially if you go to rapid fire with it. And boy, yesterday, I mean, I never had one nail that I had to take a hammer and knock it down. It put them in there. And I haven't even messed with the depth setting on it. That adjust right here is the depth setting. Same thing on that. There's your depth setting right there. You know, your rafter hook, let me measure those. The rafter hook on this one is approximately 2 inches and a 1/16, 2 1/16 on that one. Now it does like move around, comes all the way around like this on this side, in the back, to the side, and then tucks out of the way. This one comes out, and you've got 2 inches and 5/16, almost 2 3/8. 2 5/16 is what your measurement is here. It's a little wider. I noticed that yesterday right from the get-go, because on these old houses, the floor joists, they're never the same thickness. They're always, you know, because it's just rough cut wood back in the day when these houses were built. And so I noticed that this one was going over all of them, where sometimes I had a lot of trouble with this one going over the floor joists in these old houses because they'd be too thick for it. I do like that being metal a little better than the plastic, even though I've not had any trouble out of that. And also right here's a bigger deal. Look at this. The rafter right here, that thing is 3 3/8, and this one is like 2 5/8. So a big difference in the length right here to hold those. Another thing I noticed that I'm not seeing on this is, and I guess the reason there's no trigger lock on it, where there is a trigger lock on this one, and I guess that's because these, when you throw a battery in them, they're ready to fire. But when you turn this one on, it's ready to fire. You know, you turn it on right here, your modes. So there is no trigger lock on this one, if that matters to you. I do have a 4.0 battery, and all their tests were done on this with 5, and I've got a CP 3.0 on this one, just for the weight. See there? This one you do got to turn up. Could be a nail right there. But still, see, that's that old hard Bodock wood. Buried that one good. And I think some of that is operator error, but I think what it is like I push it down, it ramps up, and I pull the trigger, and there's a little bit of delay, and so I'm just reacting like that I'm lifting up when it gets ready to shoot, because I'm expecting it to go ahead and fire. And I think some of that is, because if you hold it down, it does good. See, then there was a a delay in the trigger firing right there. I don't like to knock on either one of the guns, but that's what I've run into over the years, or whatever I've had that a year or two, is running into this. And you can see I have yet, and I fired a lot of nails yesterday doing all this work on all this, and I never one time had that. That delay from when you pull the trigger till it finally shoots a nail gets on my nerves. Well, as you can see, we're getting some of the flooring down, and we're coming across to the other side of the house. So I put 2 4x4 posts, like nailed them in, screwed them in, because that's just a walk area right there, just to give that more support. And I'm probably going to do one right down there. It looks like that board might be sagging a little. I may put a jack under that, jack that up a little, and put a board on it. You know, look, that's just the way it was done back in the day. You just find some rocks and block it up. That's good. That helped it a lot. There they are with the rafter hooks, you know, like, see that? I really debated on buying that Milwaukee Gun. I was like, nah, I don't need to spend the money on that. I've already got a framing nailer, but let me tell you, I'm glad I did. Well, guys, you can call me Poop Deck Pappy. I am wore out tonight. I will see you on another video. I hope you enjoyed that video of us kind of comparing the DeWalt and the Milwaukee. I don't like doing that per se too much, but on those two guns, there's so much of a difference in them. That Milwaukee is really, really a good nail gun. The DeWalt's good if you're nailing on fresh lumber, new lumber, but like on so many of these houses that I remodel, they're old, and I mean, that's just thick old Bodock, post oak wood, and that Milwaukee will sink the nails in it. So guys, I'll see you on another video. God bless you. Hope all of you staying safe during this time. Hope everything's going okay for you. I know it's tough times. It's on all of us. And just a lot of prayer, a lot of praying. God bless all of you. I'll see you on another video.